Hello there, friends! We finally made it! The grand finals of the major, and only two best teams in the tournament managed to make it through. Outsiders versus Heroic, Jame versus Cadian. This battle will be legendary. One of the most unpredictable, ambiguous and incredible majors in history. All the obvious favorites are out now, as well as the crazy Furia. The stadium was switching from a real hell to a silent library throughout the whole tournament. This major had different sides to it. It was bad and good, obvious and unpredictable, spectacular and boring. Anyway, it was unique, and everything will be decided today. Jame or Cadian? Who will win this major? ESL Rio 2022. Let's get straight to it. But first, as always, a little news digest. To start off, ESL announced that the next year they will hold a tournament in Rio again. The event is listed as IEM Spring, and $250,000 will be on the line, as well as obviously the ESL points. Some people were very pleased with this news, but many did not appreciate it, because very few liked the audience in Rio. Richard Lewis has started a huge discussion about this. In his opinion, Gaules played a huge role. ESL allowed him to do everything, and he was successfully turning the public against the teams. Instead of warmly welcoming the first major tournament in Brazil, they ended up creating a lot of negative emotions. Not only from the global community, but also among the pro players. In general, all this is very controversial, but in any case, there will be another huge tournament in Rio. Do you like this idea? Another interesting thing is Monesi's replies to the questions in his Telegram channel, and he does not deny that there is a possibility of his return to the Russian-speaking team.
Хотел ли бы ты играть в СНГ команде в будущем? Ну, понятное дело, на своем языке комфортнее общаться и, коммуницировать, так скажем. Вот, поэтому, наверное, да.
Well, do you think that Monesi will return to Navi when Simple agrees to offer from Valorant? Or maybe some other team? To Spirit? Or to OneWin instead of Deco? And before the finals, there was a show match between the Brazilian Dream Team and the Swedish Dream Team. Although JW could not take part in it, Kerrigan got him covered, and the old guard definitely put on a show.
He brings down Olofmeister. He is just impossible to beat. He's got the quad kill, out of bullets, no scope from Forrest. He denies the ace, and he wants to keep going to hunt him down. Now we've got a show match. They stab Forrest on the stage in front of the home crowd to get to 15. Easily going to get broken in this round. Now it's all on Fallen. 1 versus 3.
He wins these.
Knows what yeah, he does. Very often. There's another flick to bring down Kerrigan. 20 seconds. And now it's just Forrest to try and stop this on the other side. Fallen has got the triple. Could he save this one for Brazil before it gets out of control? He's made us...
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. And Forrest has no idea where Fallen's going to be positioned. This is one of the... How the hell do you figure out where Fallen is?
You can see Forrest was waiting. He was expecting the round to just expire. Fallen, he missed him by a second. He's back for it. And there's the win. A 1 versus 3 clutch. It could not have been more historic.
The guys still got it. Fallen certainly knows how to get the fans pumped up. If he played there with his old Liquid team, they would probably have gone much harder. And Fallen took the cup. Well, who else would it be? But many people didn't really like it. Nevertheless, the main thing is not the cup, but the story behind it. So it's time to move on to the grand finale of the major. Friends, today I want to tell you about a decent website, csgo.net. Have you long considered updating your inventory? Now is the best time to act. Moreover, CSGO.net launched a thematic Rio Major operation with dozens of neat bonuses and a dedicated giveaway. Here you can find many cases of any taste, upgrades, contracts and absolutely everything you might need. What makes CSGO.net so unique? It's pretty simple. They've been here for years, have their integrity system, a massive amount of users with reviews and proofs, and obviously a referral system. And I can't leave you without a generous bonus. Use my promo code LIVE to get an extra 40% for your deposit. Follow the link in the pinned comment and try it for yourself. Here they are, the two best teams of the tournament, Outsiders and Heroic. Jame and Cadian will compete for the title of the best IGL. How far both teams have come and what they had to go through to get to this grand final is a very impressive story. When Hikinder and Buster left Outsiders, very few people believed in this lineup. In HLTV's rating, the team dropped from the top 10 to the 17th place. They completely failed at Rubet Cup and IEM Cologne 2022, but they worked on themselves and it has brought the team the first success. They were able to get to the ESL Pro League Season 16 playoffs, the guys had a victory at ESL Challenger Rotterdam, and then they went from the Challengers stage to the finals of the Major. A very hard and a very long way. Here's what Fame said before the grand finals. Dustin has been preparing us for this for a very long time. He knew we'd make it to the finals. He was preparing us for the game in front of a big stadium. No matter who our opponent is, we will fight to the end, to the death. And here's what James said about his team's style. It's like math. It's all about the right game and precise decisions. We don't play for highlights, we just want to win matches. Very similar to the game of Heroic, don't you think so? And their team has had even a harder path. More precisely, old pal Cadian. Few people know, but he has been working towards this goal for many years. Before Heroic, he hadn't been in the majors since 2014. He was excluded by all the teams. He couldn't cope with either the role of the in-game leader or with the game with OP. Everything was so bad that at some point he went to the majors as analyst and then as an observer. Everyone said it was the end of his career, but he didn't give up. He went all in, bringing his career back. He was excluded again, for example from North, but then Heroic believed in a loser sniper and took him as a stand-in. Everyone knew that he was very emotional and no one liked it. But this time, his emotions on the contrary began to give energy to the inexperienced teammates and they finally had a silver lining. Heroic got out of their tier 3 level and gained a foothold in the top of the best teams in the world. Cadian has made his way from an observer to an influential captain and leader of his team. And so, he finally brought his guys to the final of the major. At such a moment, he could not contain his emotions in front of his mother. These teams have history. These teams deserve to be here. Both Jame and Cadian have come a long and hard way for this. This is the grand final of ESL Rio 2022. This is Brazil, baby. Let's get to it.
One of Furia, separate from the pack. Cadian! Oh, Cadian finds three!
And he's played this open angle, taking down Exertion. Frozen's on the other side, and Dave, he will steal it away from them.
Outsiders chose Mirage, Heroic picked Overpass, and Inferno was the decider. Getting to the third map would be great. These are two best Inferno teams at the moment. And the match starts with the technical problems. Again, typical ESL. Even the Majors finals can't be held without problems. After 40 minutes of waiting, the game on Mirage finally starts as Outsiders take the pistol round. I hope Blast in France will show everyone how to hold a major. Meanwhile, in the game, Heroic seized the initiative from the first full buy. The attack's entrances weren't working and Cadian's team looked very decent. But then, the mind games begin. The question was, who will better outsmart the opponent? As for example here, first kicker bypasses Huge, but then the attack did not expect Jabby in the back, and he turns a 2v3 situation in his favor. The game is slow and not the most spectacular, and the stadium does not help in any way. It looked like the Brazilians came here to drink beer and maybe to get themselves shot by the cameras. They are used to look at aggressive and fast game from Furia, and here we have a calibrated game from two teams without any rapid actions. Fame makes the first and only highlight. He wins a 1v2 clutch and destroys the Danes' economy, which brings Outsiders 8 rounds in the first half in the attack, a pretty good result. To spoil the opponent's mood a little, Cadian kills Norbert by stabbing him in the second pistol round. And that wasn't a great decision, because in the very next round, Norbert, who flanked Heroic, knocked out the bomb and won the 4th round for his team. Thanks to this, his team goes to the 13th round without any problems. At this point, the Danes decide to use Outsiders' tactics themselves and carry out a super slow attack, which brings them a couple of rounds. It certainly doesn't look spectacular to the audience, but the way Jame and Cadian master their teams is pure pleasure to watch. At the same time, the audience does not seem to be watching the match. They are chilling, singing songs, they got their own vibe, and in order not to upset the Brazilians too much, Outsiders give them a spicy moment. win.
Oh, Cadian out-orcs one. Good whack from Flit. Multi-kill massacre in the underpass, and Kick It with 3. Comes online in the grand final, of course.
Well, and that was basically it. Cadian failed to break the opponent with their own weapon. Slow rounds are a native element for Jame and his team. The Danes tried to break the pace of the game in the end and carry out a quick attack twice. And if it worked for the first time, the second time Norbert predicts this and cuts all Heroic's chances
But they
to
should
win.
be in.
The smokes will land. He throws out his own. He's going to try his hand at a bit of a defense. A solo hold. Norbert, big frag. Two out of Norbert. Shush and Stan will silence the initial response, but the cavalry still canters in. Flick goes wide. Bomb to be planted. Kick It to distract. Recovers a pistol and a rifle. Heroic tapping heads. Down. Still in Ushans with 20 HP. Goes down, and only Cadian can save them. In this grand final, easy peasy. Lemons are squeezed. It's outsiders up on the first map. Heroic crumble.
The slowest and most measured game in which outsiders are stronger and remain one step away from winning the tournament. We switch to Overpass. By the way, the teams have already played on this map at this major. It happened on the first day of the Legends stage. At that time, the Danes were able to beat their opponent in defense with a score of 13-2. But this time, outsiders start in defense, and everything is working just fine for them. They did not let Tessus make an ace during full buy round, and began to win theirs. Aces too. Where Tessus failed, Lead turned out to be more successful. Exactly the same as on Mirage, outsiders play well in defense, while Fleet and Fame destroy the Danes everywhere. Just look at what they were doing with the opponent in the grand finale of a major.
On the chopping list. Oh, he's a coming. One back from Yavi, but Kick It's a hunting.
This is a
Firing up
terrible idea
shots.
from Tessus.
Tessus. He's in so much trouble. Goes long range. Easy frag and an upgrade for good measure.
Heroic are crushed, it's a shock. They coped with a wild stadium yesterday and destroyed Furia on Nuke, and today they can't do anything against outsiders. Cadian fails to shoot enemies even in such moments. The score is 12-3 in the first half of the game. Well, maybe at least the Danes will be more convincing in defense, because it doesn't seem like a majors final yet. It felt like watching the group stage of Home Sweet Home. In the second half, Heroic win the pistol and force rounds, and go to the score of 12-5. But that's it. Jame was not going to give any more rounds to the opponents or even a hope for a comeback.
Wise will jump for the info, gets it safely now as he looks, and Yabi tries to play the game. Jame confirms, fakes it out, and takes the round. Outsiders are up to 13 at the hands of Jame in Rio.
Just look at how easily they outplay the Danes. The attack quickly reaches plan B. At this moment, Jame occupies the empty A, but they didn't need a rotation because all the defense players were already dead. Heroic turned out to be much weaker both in shooting and tactics. Outsiders have no difficulties to get to the score of 15-5, and then even I felt uncomfortable and sad. After all, it's a grand finale, without any unnecessary emotions, without underestimating the opponent or any other things that can interfere. They just did it. Outsiders become the champions of the major.
The outsiders prepare to start new celebrations. Finally, outsiders. 6 years Dastan and Jane been chasing this dream. They got the right pieces, and now they got a piece for the trophy cabinet.
Their 5th major appearance. Kick It, Dastan, Jame. That core had been here before, but they felt...
Jame was insanely good. He became the 3rd IGL in history to receive the Major's MVP award after only Happy and Tarek. And the whole team did well. They had a lot of problems, because after Yakinder and Buster left the lineup, Norbert and Fame were taken in their place. The team faced a lot of criticism. No one believed that this composition was capable of anything. As a result, these guys were able to cope with everything and became a major champions. It's incredible. People can talk a lot about a weak greed and so on, but this is not quite true. Can you imagine the level of competition if Ace dropped out with a score of 0-3, Vitality failed to reach the playoffs, and Astralis and G2 did not even pass through the qualifiers for the major? We've seen the best teams of this time at this tournament. And here's what the guys from Outsiders said in a post-match interview.
Jame, congratulations. You're a major winner.
Yep. Yeah, it's me. Guys, obrigado. It's amazing major. Thank you, Brazil. Thank you.
Jame is saying that this is a big moment for him, that he is holding back the tears. And as a great showman, he said, like, he will tell more on his YouTube channel.
On his YouTube channel, of course. Kickert, can I get a reaction, please? You've played with this guy for so long, and now you together win the major. What's your first reaction?
My first emotions is amazing because we were going for it for such a long time, and I don't know, we had a lot of lots of players, Sikinder, Buster, Sanja, Dren, and now we did it. We won the major, guys!
Norbert, so when I talked to you earlier, you said the work isn't done, it's another day at the office. Was it just another day at the office?
Yes, of course. We were better than the first game when we played versus them in Legend stage.
Congratulations. Do you have anything to say about the fact that you've been here a couple of months and you found such great success with the outsiders?
As I said before, hard work pays off.
Absolutely. We still have 2 left to go, I think. Flip.
Doesn't just say like, I don't understand.
No.
I mean, he probably has a lot of emotions. Come join us.
Come join us. Yeah, Dasta, maybe give us a few words. This has been such a long time in the making.
I don't believe, guys, we major winner!
Would you like to say anything?
Thank you, всем guys. Obrigado, support us. And we love you. Best city, best people. Really. Obrigado.
We will come back to his interview and to everything that happened after the match. But first, let's listen to what Cadian said.
I don't think until we lost, till it was like 14-3 something, at that point I was like, okay, it's looking rough now, you know. I believe when we won the CT pistol and the following round, but to be honest, I don't know, like we just weren't clicking today, you know, like the communication was off, the decision making was extremely poor. In terms of like when you get a kill, play time, give info to your teammates, tell your teammate who's next to you what you're going to do, what he's supposed to do. All this was just not on a good enough level, so it's fully deserved that outsiders win. Yeah, we didn't deserve it today.
Talk to me about some of the mindset you had going into today, because I think a lot of people maybe put you as favourites because of the way you guys have been playing, your own individual performance, and just the chemistry your team has.
Yeah, I mean, we saw ourselves as favourites today as well, but they've been playing an insanely good tournament. It's not an excuse, but also I don't think it helped playing the last game yesterday and then playing like early today. But yeah, I don't know, like we had some reads about what they were doing. We didn't execute properly on it. A lot of our philosophies that we practice every day was not executed well enough, and yeah, they were simply just better. There's not much to say. I think right now I haven't really realized that it's the fucking major final I lost, you know, like it's not easy to get back here, but I definitely believe that we're on the right path, and all the hard work that we put into it, it's not going to waste just because we lose one game, you know, so I'm still proud of the boys. I was expecting more today, but I mean, not looking so much at like what side of the bracket we're on and stuff like this, but just reaching the final, you know, like we were in the semi-final at Stockholm, then we were quarterfinal at Antwerp, and now the major final. So, I mean, the consistency is there, the playoff runs are there, but we still need to become better. And yeah, that starts already tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow as well, blood there. It never stops with you for sure. Now, Ken, I want to give you just one chance to look down the camera, say anything you want to say to leave us all with, mate.
Yeah, I'm sorry to all of you who cheered for us. I'm super disappointed myself, obviously, but it's been an amazing journey, and I think like many people are saying out there, if my story is not a sign that you can come back from having a rough period or people calling you out that you're never going to make it back, then nobody's fucking going to do it. So I'll come back stronger, I'll make more moves, and keep fighting out there if you want to chase your dream as well.
Cadian is a legend. He deserves respect and applause. Heroic did the impossible. They silenced 18,000 people at the stadium, and they managed to do it without spreading hate and scandals. And we turn back to Jame, who gave another interview after the match.
Jame time? Is that what they're saying?
Time, but I don't know why I'm here.
Oh, well, you won the ESL Pro Tour DHL MVP, buddy, and the major.
Cool.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Has it sunk in? Do you feel it yet? You've won the major in one of the biggest arenas we've had.
I feel so many emotions in me when I play it. I'm just calm down them all. But now I want to cry if I remember what I do. And I don't know why I'm here. It's so cringe. My English, I don't know.
We're giving you a chance to plug your YouTube channel again, and that's what we're looking for up here.
But with subtitles, it's easy.
It is.
Okay. What I should do? It's for me?
Yeah, that's yours.
That is definitely for you.
That's all yours.
DHL MVP. There you go.
Yeah.
Jame became the MVP. Norbert went a long way from being the main meme of Russian-speaking community to becoming the champion. Fame gets to the major for the first time and wins it. Well done, guys. Such stories really motivate everyone to move towards their goals. Here's how the rest of the community reacted. Monesi wrote, "There's no beast stronger than a bear. VP has a fire composition. They've got God in their team, a Kazakhstani player, and also Norbert. Hunter gently hinted to him that he should go learn from Jame. Norbert's girlfriend said the following: 4 years of relationships with David. I've seen all his losses and victories. Over the past 6 months, we have seen each other only one time. All this time, I just let him play and train. He and his team took the first place at the major. I never know what will happen tomorrow with our relationship, but I'll just say, never put love first. Learn to have a balance. I'm proud of you, David. Girls, don't mess with your partner's heads. Let them play. They can become champions. It just doesn't always come quickly." Mezzi, Fnatic's captain, said that this lineup is much stronger than it was with Ykinder. Now they are more coherent, and as a team they do not depend on Marek's aggression or frags from Jame. Now they complement each other. And here's what Ykinder wrote: "People ask me who I supported in the playoffs, and my only answer was outsiders. Because I know how hard these guys work, and that this game meant a lot more to them than to many others. So it is a well-deserved victory, and I'm very happy for the guys." They were also congratulated by Perfecto, K Serato, GW, and many other pro players. They deserved it. It was not Navi, not FaZe, not Vitality, not even Furia. None of them. It was James' team to join the list of major winners. By the way, the final was not even the most popular match among all major games. A lot more people watched the game between Navi and Furia, but it doesn't matter. The result is right in front of us. We will sum up the results in the following videos. And now I want to say a big thanks to all of you who was watching, for your comments and for your likes. It's been a hard 2 weeks and you've really motivated me. And as always, see you soon.